while you're in Kazakhstan, in this beautiful, beautiful nation of yours, we need to know what that apartment that you chose looks like. So maybe you had the $400 a month apartment. Maybe you had the $600 a month apartment. Maybe you had the $800, and maybe you had the $1,200. And obviously, I kind of gave you brief descriptions of each, right? You know that the $400 is going to be definitely a kind of a single, studio apartment. No real rooms to mention, no carpeting, no nothing. It comes very bare bones. You know that the $600 is kind of a nicer version of that. It's still a studio apartment, but nothing really super fancy. It's got a bathroom, that's about it. $800 is a nice one-bedroom apartment. You've got a bedroom, you've got a living room, you've got a bathroom. And then finally, the $1,200 is going to be kind of a 2 to 3 bedroom apartment, pretty posh, pretty nice looking. Now the key is this: if I say a one-bedroom apartment, what that appears in your imagination might be different than how it appears in my imagination. That's what we're going to really hammer out today using this graph paper. So what we need to do is kind of figure out a little bit about how we can kind of do a little bit of math, very basic math, how we can do a little bit of math to figure out how big this is going to be, and then basically start to manipulate it a little bit and move this stuff around. So for example, if I need to do 400, right, there's got to be a way, I need to figure out a way where I can take that 400 and kind of slice it in half so I can figure out what the area of my space is going to be. So if I lived in a straight out just box, right, if I didn't have cool wings coming off, if I didn't have like a deck or something, if I just lived in a box, right, it'd be the most boring apartment ever. But if I lived in that box, I could take the length times the width, and that would give me my area of that box, right? You guys know that stuff. So for example, if I were to take, let's see, 20 times 20, that gives me 400. So what that basically means is this: for my 400 a month apartment, that really means that it is 20 by 20, 20 length by 20 height. Now, I do not want you to live in a box. That would be an incredibly boring life for you to do. So you're going to take your graph paper here, and depending on the size of your apartment, so for example, when you get up to the $1,200 a month apartment, if you're living here, obviously there are not enough squares on this little sheet of paper. So maybe each square represents 2 square feet or 3 square feet, and you're going to need to make like a little map, like a little key down here for yourself. But for the sake of example here, we're doing the 20 by 20, so the 400. So all I'm going to do is this, real quick. I'm going to go ahead and say, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, so do the same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I just stopped counting entirely. Okay, there we go. So there's my humble abode, right? Bam, ready to go. Okay. So at this point, if you wanted to live in a perfectly square box, all you would need to do is say, okay, well, where's the door at? And of course, we need to figure out about how big the door is. So I can look at our front door in our classroom, and it looks like it is about 3 square feet. Because again, each one of these tiles on the ground is a square foot. So let's say I want to make my door and my entryway like right here. So it's going to be 3 square feet. So like that. Now, to symbolize a door in the world of blueprinting, all you need to do is kind of draw like a little angle right here, and then like a little curlicue right there. And what that shows is the door swings open to the outside. If I wanted the door to swing inward into the room, I would do this. I'd erase that out, pull this inward, and swing it around like that. So again, that shows which direction the door actually pulls. Okay? So that's kind of important there. And again, you want to keep things as equivalent as possible. So if the door here is 3 square feet, I've got it 3 square feet there. So that looks pretty good. Now, if I would like to have a window installed, I have the $400 a month apartment. There is no windows automatically in this apartment, but you can absolutely have one installed. I would have to find online how much a window costs, and I'd have to factor that into my budget. So if my budget, for example, let's say my net income after taxes and everything, I'm going to make up a number. Let's say it's $15K. That's what I got floating around, right, in my savings. So I'm going to start spending this money virtually. But to do that, I need to virtually kind of figure out actual prices. So what I'm going to ask you guys today to do is to, at some point, kind of jump on your cell phones a little bit and go over to a number of different websites. You can go onto whatever website you'd like to, school appropriate, and start finding things. So if I want to find like a window, I could figure out that cost, and I would input kind of a window. You know, maybe I want a window there, let a little bit of light in, that would be nice. But maybe I want to put like a couch right here, like a chair, like a little reading chair. So I'll go over to a store, maybe like IKEA or anywhere else. So let's see, chairs. I want an armchair. Yeah, this looks like me. There you go. A nice bright canary yellow chair. That looks perfect. So I'm going to take this chair here, and what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to save this picture. Now you can literally, save the picture how you normally would, right? Or if you want to, you could just kind of take a screen capture. That would work fine. Okay? But I want to make sure that I keep pictures of the items that I would like to have in my house. So if I go really crazy, you could take a picture of each individual lamp and each TV, and the TV remote and all this kind of crap. Or you can keep it kind of generic and just chair and couch and table, and that's fine. But you want to have pictures. That's important. So I've got my picture of my chair here. It looks like it is $279 right there. So I'm going to take that in, and I will subtract that from my total. And I'm going to keep this process going along. So there's my chair, right? And I want to figure out a little bit here. Let's see. So product information. So if I look at the product information on this, it will tell me, literally tell me, like, oh, here's the width, 32 inches, depth, 37 inches. It tells me all of this stuff. Height, I don't really need to know the height. What I need to know is the depth and the width, so I know how big it is in this room. If each one of these squares is 1 square foot, I need to figure that out. So I can come over here, let's see. So we've got 32 and a fourth. I'm just going to round it to 32 inches by 37 inches. So I need to use a little bit of math real quick because I'm thinking in feet, not in inches. Super easy. 32 divided by, how many inches make up a foot? 12, right? Yeah, I'm bad at math, thanks. So it looks like I've got 2.6-ish and 37 divided by 12. Looks like I got 3. So 2.6 and my 3 right there. So if I want to put this in the room, I can do a couple things. I can literally rip off a sheet of paper and see, okay, let's see here. So 2.6, we'll just say 2 for right now. We'll round by 3. So my chair is about, like that big, right? So I can literally kind of place it in the room. Or, if that's too much work for you, you can just literally draw it in. So let's see, 3 by 2. Again, feel free to round a little bit. I'm not doing exact numbers, that's fine. So I'm going to put my chair right there, and we're doing an aerial view. I'm looking down at my apartment. So what you're going to do is by the end of today, not only will you have gone through and budgeted appropriately, not only will you have gone through and found pictures of everything and saved those pictures, just to your phone for right now is fine. I'm going to have those pictures ready to go, but I've also placed them in my apartment. And you can do a full, total renovation. You want to just buy furniture and call it a day? Fine. You want to literally, I want an accent wall that is bright neon pink, then I better go over to Home Depot and figure out how much bright neon pink paint is, right? We're going to say, for sake of argument, that you're going to need 1 gallon of paint per single wall. But wait, let's say that I don't want to live in a giant cube, right? This is really boring, okay? So what I can do is this. Yes, I could totally use some math skills and figure out the area of the space and do all that. It's way too much work. We've got graph paper for a reason. So instead, what we're going to do is do super basic level kind of manipulation or architecture on our building. So for example, let's say that I wanted a deck right here. I'm on the 2nd floor and I want a deck. Well, I'm going to see, let's see, how big is this deck? We got 1, 2 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 squares. So I need to subtract those 12 squares from somewhere. So let's see, maybe I do, something like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So maybe I subtract right here. Because again, my number has to equal 400. So now I've got a little bit more dynamic picture. Maybe I want to put a door right there. Have that door swing into the house. Okay, that looks a little bit nicer. I'm thinking I really kind of want a closet right here. So I could just kind of draw in. Let's see, we'll do a wall right here. Bring it down. Walls are free. Kazakhstan just gives you free walls. So we're really nice like that. It's the longest closet possible. I have many, many coats. So many coats. But of course I need a door into that. But you know what? I don't really want a door. It's just open. It's just an open space. So, lots and lots of coats can go in there. Maybe I want to have a kitchen. I've decided that my crappy $400 a month apartment needs a kitchen. So I'm going to spend a little bit of money. I'm going to, build in, and I will find online. I will find, countertops and put those guys in. I'll find a sink that I want to buy and put that guy in. Maybe I want to put like a cupboard kind of floating above right there. That would be nice. Maybe there's a dining room table right here. And again, all this stuff I would go through and buy. Maybe on my dining room table, I've got like a chandelier above it. That'd be pretty cool. And you can slowly but surely start to fill this in. Maybe I want a wall here. That wall can kind of come across like so. But I want it to stop right here so I can kind of walk around it like it's an open concept. That's pretty cool. Got my dining room in my kitchen. That's fun. I got to have a bathroom. Got to take a poop somewhere. Of course, if I'm in the kitchen, I'm going to need quick and easy access because I eat Taco Bell so very much. So we're going to do a nice wall right here. We're going to cut this off. We'll say that my bathroom is right there. We'll let the door swing open so I can let the nice fumes of my gaseous excretions come out. Doesn't come with a toilet. Got to buy a toilet. So I go online and find that price, and again, factor all that into my budget. Need a sink as well. I'll put my sink maybe it's a diagonal sink. That'd be kind of fun. Little sink right there. What else? I need a shower. Occasionally I need to bathe, at least once a week. I could buy a shower. Maybe it's like a stand-up shower, so it has like a little, you can walk in and take a shower after take a poop. That's fun. Maybe I want a mirror in there. I could put a little mirror. I don't know. Probably not a mirror. I don't need to see my face. I just break every mirror I look at. But you get the idea. So very quickly, you can start filling this house up. Now, how you choose to go about it is totally up to you. Do you want to place all your stuff first and then find those things in real life and factor those numbers into your budget? Or do you want to find them as you go and kind of plug them in? The long and short is when you're done today, you're going to have a house that you yourself have made. It looks nothing like anyone else's house. That's the big key. Okay, that's the big key. And again, you are welcome to edit the room, move stuff around, as long as it equals your total square footage. Cool? If at any point in time you're working and you're like, you know what, I don't have $15,000 in savings. My net income was like $2. Maybe instead, because you want to, put furniture, you don't want to be house poor. So instead of that $2 for my net income, maybe I want to move down to like a cheaper apartment, which would make my savings a little bit more, right? That's better. So kind of get a feel for things. If you're worried about the numbers, again, don't worry too much. You're welcome to round. This is an art class, but we're thinking mathematically. We're thinking logically along the way. Okay? Cool. If you guys need a new sheet of graph paper or anything like that, if you super mess up, just tell me. I've got a whole stack of it. Any questions, major issues, concerns? Nope. Rocking. All right. Go to kiddos. And if you need some helpy help, give me a holla.